The prosecutor for not only Jeffrey Epstein, but also for Diddy has been fired by Department of Justice, a.k.a. through Pam Bondi's office. And this one may seem a bit familiar, Will, because what's the name of this attorney?
This is the second Comey that the Trump administration has fired, because the first was obviously James Comey as FBI director in the first term. This is James Comey's daughter, Maureen Comey, who is a prosecutor for the Southern District of New York in Manhattan. In the U.S. Attorney's Office there. She obviously has worked on some of these high-profile cases you talked about. She was one of the prosecutors on the Epstein case, then on Ghislaine Maxwell's case, as well as the Diddy Combs case. And now we have no longer employed Comey at the DOJ. There hasn't been a specific reason given at this point, but with all the fallout with the Epstein documents, the Epstein list.
I mean, just the last few weeks of all that conversation.
There's a lot of speculation about the reasons, and we can talk about some of that in the next segment as well.
There hasn't been a specific reason of why she's let go. And look, I don't think anyone needs to be judged by, I guess you'd say, the sins of their father. So in that way, like I don't know what she did, or just because she's a Comey doesn't mean that's how she deals with things, doesn't mean that she's anything to do with her father. I have no idea, but of course we got to give you the facts, and the facts are pretty interesting. Again, we don't even know why she got fired. She was a prosecutor specifically on the Epstein case and specifically on the Diddy case. So you could say maybe she didn't do a good enough job of what happened with the Diddy trial and everything that went down. But we don't know the facts. We just know that this is another one of those kind of suspicious moments, and another moment that keeps this story our number one story. And again, it's not something I want to talk about each and every day, is Jeffrey Epstein. I don't. Or James Comey or any member of the Comey family. But somehow, some way, they keep doing this. They keep getting their spot in the top of the pops. Well, top of the news, you got always a Comey and always an Epstein.
Well, and when you look at this also, while we don't know a reason, we do know that there was some kind of maybe embarrassment, some egg on the government's face in the Diddy trial, where the big charges they went for, the RICO, the conspiracy charges, they didn't get the conviction. Now, once again, she is a senior trial attorney in the prosecutor's office. I don't know if she was the lead prosecutor, so haven't done enough research into that case specifically, whether or not, you can blame her exclusively for that, but it was her trial. But then she was a part of the Ghislaine Maxwell case, where they did get a conviction for 20 years for Ghislaine Maxwell. Obviously, we know that Jeffrey Epstein, his case never went to trial because he died while in the jail.
I'm glad you left that open-ended. Thank you.
Well, I just said he died. I didn't say how he died.
That's what I'm saying.
But those are kind of the facts. I don't know her other prosecution record, how many convictions she has, how good of an attorney she was. But the high-profile ones, it is interesting that she was a part of many of these, especially now. You also take that and look and say, okay, a lot of times people that have that expertise are assigned to those types of cases.
Yeah, I'm not here to besmirch anybody. She may be a very qualified attorney who is doing her best. Even if it's a Comey, that doesn't mean anything. Again, you shouldn't be judged by the fact that we don't care for your father. Okay? We don't care for his seashell games. He's out there doing a shell game, if you will.
A shell game, yes, with very specific shell patterns in ways.
James Comey now works on Coney Island, you see, and he does a shell game. You can go and win some prizes if you can follow the ball.
Yeah, if you can pick the ball, you get a teddy bear. But in this case, his daughter's no longer employed with the DOJ. I had nothing else to say to that.
Which one is my daughter underneath his shells?
So she's
is it Diddy? Is it Epstein? There. We don't know which one's underneath here.
Now, this is also at the same time, we've learned this week, we had John Solomon on earlier this week about that grand conspiracy investigation that the FBI is doing, and looking into members of the DOJ, the FBI, the intel community that played a part in tipping the scales in favor of one party or candidate over the other. We know she's no longer working there, but this wasn't necessarily criminal charges filed against her or any allegation that she did anything like that. So it is one of those things, too, that you talked about yesterday, Logan, where you said this is something that maybe could go away, but the administration keeps doing things to bring it right back up to the top.
Let's say she did a great job. let's say she did a mediocre job. Either way, do you want another Epstein story in the news this week? Could you not have moved her to something else? Like, is there not another job for her? We couldn't have found her something else to do while we let the Epstein situation quiet down a bit. Instead, you have to fire the lead prosecutor, who, by the way, also happens to be James Comey, another prominent figure's daughter, who also happens to be leading the Diddy trials. I mean, this doesn't all check out and sound great. Again, more what feels like unenforced errors. Let's take a quick call. Let's go to Gene in North Carolina. Gene, go ahead.
Sir, I believe this information has to come out, and people have to follow the money. We can talk about conspiracy theories all day long. It costs a lot of money to run an island, a lot. If it's in international waters, you got security concerns, medical issues, food delivery, a lot of money. Where did the money come from?
Well, I mean, Gene, that's actually been one of the big questions all along, is how did he even make his money?
Yeah,
we refer to him.
No man is an island.
Right. We refer, that's about a boy. That's in that as well.
Yes, but it's true.
Right.
Like, because not one person can be running an island.
Right.
That's what I think the metaphor was.
Oh,
there's a lot of people
specifically
around.
That metaphor is about Epstein Island.
The Jeffrey Epstein.
Got it. Yeah. But Gene, that's been a big question the entire time when he was even charges were brought against him that he's this billionaire, but where did all that money come from? And that's where a lot of the rabbit trails about intelligence agencies and things of that nature come out of. Is just the fact of where did he make all this money, because it wasn't publicly reported. There wasn't all these reports. He was a financier, but it wasn't like he was running a hedge fund. So, I mean, that is a big question.
There are big questions that have never been answered about Jeffrey Epstein. It's whether they are relevant to today's story.
Well, and that's where now there's calls from some members of Congress, and even President Trump, with our friend John Solomon on Just the News, gave a little bit of a head nod saying maybe we do need a special prosecutor on this case to really look down and see what's going on. Because also when you think about the prosecution, if they're building a case against Jeffrey Epstein, which he was in jail, he was headed for trial for his crimes, his abuse of minors. That is what the focus of the investigation would have been, evidence against him. So if the prosecution, people like Maureen Comey, are only focused on their target, then they could have blinders on, not looking for outside things, all that stuff. So if you are wanting to get to the bottom of it and get answers, someone like a special prosecutor that would have a broad scope, able to go and look at a lot of different things, that would be a better way to do it, although we kind of aren't big fans of special prosecutors around here.
Well, there's two things happening. There's a speculation being fueled by you right now in the chat. I see so many comments coming in. Some aren't great. Some are people who have a lot of conspiracy theories. Some people are wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses. Those are the two reasons, the two main things that are coming in.
Those are both conspiracy theories,
They're both mysteries. A lot of people said I look like Joe Cool, which I thought that's a reference.
Snoopy?
I think Snoopy's alter ego.
Right.
So, I'm okay with that. I'm a big Schultz man myself. Scholes.
There's some other people that want you to wear a hat tomorrow.
Pork pie?
People are adding to your wardrobe as we go. Fine. And all you wanted to do was be able to see on air today.
Yeah, because these are prescription. Because if I took my glasses off, one eye would go that way, and I wouldn't be able to read the screens in front of me. We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Seculo program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.